Mexico, of course, made several versions of Galaxy Warriors and Masters of the Universe bootlegs, and these are the, slightly better ones. So, yeah, well, the colors are kinda all over the place on these Mexican bootlegs. They're much more solidly made than the other Mexican Galaxy Warriors and Masters of the Universe figures we looked at. He-Man largely has a kind of Skeletor or Fake-Or color scheme going on, and Skeletor has a lot more green than he usually does. I'm St. Patrick's Day Skeletor! Actually, all of these figures that I ended up getting had blue and green as a part of their color schemes. The green at least makes sense for the Sawhack bootleg here. The color scheme for these characters is just all over the place though, and isn't consistent for the same character within the line or anything even. So while my Sawhack's color scheme for the most part kind of fits him, there's ones that have like a white flesh tone body and stuff. And some of the other He-Mans out there probably look a little better than the one I have that just blew himself. And even though green isn't an official Skeletor color, he looks pretty decent. The official Skeletor figure did have some green on his face, which I guess helps make this not look quite as weird. He-Man though, yeah, not quite so much. There's no helping this weirdo guy. And just look at that face with his red nose. I guess this is Christmas He-Man again. It seems they used red plastic for a lot of the figures for some reason. At least there's red on Sunhawk's helmet here, but he's definitely seen much better days. I mean, seriously, that face, wow, he has seen some shit. And of course, his color scheme is absolutely perfect, looks just like the real one. Sawhack's already a pretty tall Galaxy figure because of his long neck, but these ones stand with a less crouched pose, so they're even taller. And I'll say, I don't hate the brighter green on this bootleg Sawhack, though again, his head was cast in a red plastic for some reason. I guess it does at least sort of make it look like he's got blood around his mouth or something. The weapons that came with these figures are translucent bootlegs of Masters of the Universe weapons, like He-Man's sword here, or Galaxy weapons like the long sword from Galaxy Fighters here. By the way, while trying to stick this sword back in this bootleg Thor's hand, his fingers popped off, so that's another win for those Mexican bootlegs. Another bootleg accessory that my Sawhack came with is the Skeletor loincloth thing. So the mold copying on some of these translucent plastic weapons got a little sloppy looking. So one of the things to note about these figures is they're actually pretty decently articulated. They've got head and arm articulation, waist, and the legs are on a peg joint, which is pretty different than most Galaxy or Master of the Universe figures. Of course, Masters of the Universe and Galaxy figures usually have their legs on those elastic bands, and bootlegs either usually change that to ball joints or nothing. I wish these peg-jointed legs made them easier to stand, but no, these are still a pain in the ass for that because their feet are usually not very even. You can see just how inconsistent they were with putting these figures together too by the toe placement on them. Both of Sawhack's feet point outwards pretty wide, where only one of Sunhawk's feet points outwards at all, and the other one is straight. So yeah, while these figures are annoying to stand and sometimes don't hold their weapons very well, they are super sturdy as they are made of a very solid plastic and feel pretty decent. I mean, if we compare them to their cheaper Mexican bootleg counterparts, you can see there was a bit more of an effort here. And their limbs stay on a bit better too. And they're not that. You get out of here. Stupid old bootleg He-Man can also ride Cringer, so I guess he's got that going for him. The plastic quality is decent, they are very solid figures, and their articulation is okay. I wish the legs could move out a little further though. Compared to the super cheapy hollow Mexican bootlegs, these are wonderful and feel more like a real action figure. That said, the paint on just about every one of these that I've seen has chipped and the coloring is absolutely all over the place. Sometimes you might find one of these that is sort of close to the coloring a character should probably have, but then there's another that looks like someone's just doing random color flood fill on them. 5. These are all pretty much characters and direct head mold copies from Masters of the Universe, Galaxy Warriors, and Galaxy Fighters. The most changed up one I've seen from this line is this version of Dragoon with a big open mouth. It's hard to say with a line like this, of course, how many characters they bootlegged into it. I do like the translucent colored weapons, but they are made out of a very stiff plastic with no give to them at all. They did rework the Galaxy Warriors / Masters of the Universe molds a bit though, and gave them peg leg articulation, and the legs are kinda different as they stand taller. 3. The odd coloring you can find some of the characters in is definitely the highlight of the weird for this line. Of course, most of the coloring doesn't come off so much like a deliberate choice as it does, let's paint and slap pieces together of whatever color is in front of me at the moment. My favorite strange colored oddballs I've seen being this mishmashed up Hawk and ultra red Sunhawk, who has a really gross, dirty looking chest. Sunhawk also seems to get those beady, shocked eyes a lot in this line. 7. I haven't found a lot of examples of this type package, but the few I have are of course baggies with Masters of the Universe art on the flaps, so nothing amazing. 1. The colors are off, of course, and a lot of them don't seem to come with armor. I've seen another Sawhack and Iguana that came with the Skeletor loincloth thing. Also, a Skeletor that came with a copy of his actual harness. So, I guess they really like the Skeletor gear. The only picture I've seen of something else was a He-Man in a knockoff of his harness. Overall, these work okay as animation-era Galaxy Warriors and Masters of the Universe figures. 4. And the bootleg zones overall is 5! These figures are kind of a solid okay. They are slightly weird and put together alright, but they don't really excel at anything.
What the hell is this? Did you steal my cat?
Mr. Man, I can't stand very well on my own, so I was hoping I could ride your pussy.
Wow! That's very inappropriate. You're gonna get us canceled. No, he's not. I am the real Skeletor. I cannot express how much I hate that.
What is going on here? I just cannot believe any of this. I just want to die.
You'll get no objections from me. I'm probably the best looking one out of this lot. Objection! Can you open and close your mouth like this? Sure I can. Oh shit!
I don't know where this is going anymore, so I'm just gonna leave.
Like hell you are! Oh! Give me my cat back! You're my pussy cringer! Let's go! Ah! Great job, He-Man! We're canceled!